It will take a little while to get ready, but here we go. Alright, we are starting. Just make sure this is working correctly. Alright, we are starting. Just make sure this is working correctly. Alright, looks good. Alright, just make sure. Let me mute this part here. Alright, so today we are building a live marble race. So, I'm thinking about making the Amazing Marble Race Season 2, Part 2, today. So, pretty much I have my world already here for building purposes. And I might take some suggestions from you in the chat and work on some things on my own. I created this. Oh, I guess I didn't drag it in. Well, I can easily create another one of the things I had. I didn't put it in my menu though. Alright, let's check to see who's here. For the best experience, watch in HD, but if you cannot comprehend the quality, then watch in whatever works for you. Okay, let's wait for some more viewers here so we can have some more people work here. Just check to make sure everything's working out. Oh, should. Alright, we have 5 people currently. That's pretty fast. 6. It just keeps rising. I have my Discord chat open as long with the chat and Algodo. I also have OBS open to make sure the stream is running correctly. And everything should be great. So I'm gonna say hello to everyone I've seen so far. Hello Sean. Hello Ultra Xion Cat. Hello Christine Morris. Hello Lokir Fabrira. Hello Tracy Street. Hello Unique Hoodie. Hello that keyboard guy. And yep. That's all I have so far. Unless I missed someone. Which I don't think so. Alright. The link to the Discord chat is in the description. If you want to see it. Cool. How's it going, everybody? 7 people. Alright. I think we have enough to get started. Ooh, Nicholas is here as well. Hello, Nicholas. Alright, I think it's time we get started. So, let's get our components out for the Amazing Marble Race. So, we have these guys. All my colors. So, no surprise to who was eliminated last time. But, it sadly was Olive. So, I'm just going to delete the marbles that were eliminated previously, so that would be Olive, Maroon, our Season 1 winner, and who else was it? Salmon, who I mistaked for Tan before I re-uploaded. So, these will be the remaining marbles. Let's do the same for the starting area. So, I'm going to take suggestions from you guys for what I should do in the race. I'm probably going to do a few things on my own, but I'll let you guys contribute. Alright. Get rid of you, Olive. You shouldn't be here. Same with you, Maroon. And you. Okay. Everything will be working here now, and we can get on with it. So. Hello, Christine Morris again, I guess. I already said hi to you. I'll check out some of your channels afterwards. We have 13 viewers. That's quick. Alright. Anyone who is on the Discord will be able to talk with me afterwards. Okay. So, let's start off with the basic starting arena. So, let's make it about the size, and we're going to subtract here. Alright. So this will be put around the starting part. Let's center it as best we can. There we go. And we're gonna make it black to match the pattern, and we're going to glue it to the background. Here we go. And we'll just make a gap here for the marbles to fit through. And we're going to need a way for them to separate. So I'm probably going to add a few small gears there just to help them push each other around. And also give this some, see, they just get kind of stuck there. It's easy to fix that. If I just grab, oh, that's too big. Let's cut down the size here. That's too small as well. It would work, but that's about right. Alright, so let's make this black. So, all these marbles have collision layers A through D, if I am correct. Let me just click on one and see. Collision layers A through C. Okay, so I can always add collision layers if I have to. So, we'll make this collision layer B, and we'll give it an axle. So, a normal motor will spin clockwise, and a reverse motor will spin counterclockwise. Okay, so 15 seems good. I'll just mirror this one here. And then we'll make the motor torque on these to max. And this one will be reversed. See, now that will work, and we can just test it out. There we go. Oh, it looks like some aren't colliding correctly. Maybe I made a mistake while I was making these, and I had to fix it last time. Let me check the collision layers. Yes. We need to make them all A through, let's make them all A through D. Alright, that sounds right. Alright, now they'll all collide with each other, and they can separate and everything. So that's perfect. Now, how should the first leg be? That's my question. I'll let you guys come up with a leg here. What should be the first thing the marbles are put through? Alright, Nicholas suggests we have a plinko, and depending on where the marble lands, you go to a certain area where you have to get to a point to teleport to the end of the leg. Okay, I could do something with plinko, but it's kind of basic, which isn't a bad thing. The course is always black, just because it's like the easiest color, and it makes the marble stand out more, except for black itself, but it's just an easy color to use. It just looks about right. I mean, it would look weird if the whole course was like red, because then not all the colors would blend in. How many viewers do we have? 14 current viewers, nice. Alright, propeller, a toenail leg. Okay, that just sounds weird. I know what you mean by, like, the bowls are just like this, but, you know, I had an idea, actually, for this leg. I just wanted to hear your suggestions first, in case you came up with something really interesting. So, it's really basic, but it's going to be a leg. Alright. Let's make a circle here. Let's make it a little smaller. You don't need that much for this. There we go. That may be too small. We'll make it about there. Perfect. Alright, so in this leg I came up with, let's make a box here that connects these and add axles here. Perfect. And then we'll add an axle to this. Test this out just to make sure it worked. Yep. So each time it will evenly go each direction. So the marbles will go down. They'll either go this way or this way from the path. And if they fall this way, then I'm going to have a spinner down here that they have to go upwards. And if they go down here, they'll have to go through a course to get to a teleport to get here. So some marbles will get to skip a whole part of the course, while the others will get to skip most of it. Alright. Here we go. Alright, let's make these invisible so they're not visible to everyone. Alright, let's make this no borders or circle cakes here. So let's put this down here so we'll test the angle out for the path here. Let's make this black here. Put the background. Alright, let's try 15 degrees. That probably is too angled, but I'm not sure. Let's also go to background. Alright, wait, I already did that. Actually, this is perfect. I think it lines up perfectly with this, so just find the right place. Alright, we're gonna need to move this over to like here. And let's make the collision layer on this different. So we'll make view B. Also, so no marbles go flying off the side, I just add a little wall here, which I'll connect. Here we go. Let's make it look nice. Up we go, there, and we always have to test things out. Let's just make sure some marbles will go one way and some will go the other. I'm gonna actually move this up a little first. It's too low. Let's try that. And that's a little too high. Let's move it down like that much maybe. Perfect. Here we go. Alright, let's try this. I might have to angle this thing a little more when they go down because they're just gonna keep going like that. Yeah, I had a feeling. So, first of all, we don't want this to be bouncy, and we're gonna lower the... yeah, we'll keep the friction because otherwise we won't be able to slow down. Alright, I probably still will need to angle this more though. We just don't want them bouncing. Alright, they're still sliding off of it. We need to add more friction. So, let's add to about, I'll go 1.7. Good enough. Here we go. Let's test this out with these guys now. Alright, they're still sliding off. I'm just gonna need to angle this thing more here with the axle, so I'm just going to make these visible again so I can do some work here. There we go. Alright, let's delete this. We're just gonna increase the size. There we go. Scoot this over. Let's maybe not do it that much. There we go. And then we'll reattach the axle. And here we go. Alrighty. I could have just highlighted everything, but I'll just do it one at a time because it's already too late for that. Alright. Now let's see how angled this is. Alright, that's more angled. Actually, we can just make the axle here slower too. There we go. But we need that slope there so they'll actually roll down and not just go sliding off this thing. Alright. And that also means we're going to need to maybe angle this down a little more. Just to match up. Let's go about 17 or so. That looks about right. And let's test this out in a second here. Okay, we're going to need to move this way lower. Well, not way lower, but lower than it was. That's better. Okay. That might even need to be slower than that. Let's move this down to like 6 or so. 6.2, that's fine. And we'll just test this out. Here comes ivory. And... okay, seems it's not working either. Okay, let me just try adding infinite friction to this thing. See if they'll slow down. How many viewers are we? Have 22 viewers. Oh boy. Alright, let's try this out now. Will this work? Doubt it. They're still going too fast. Alright. We need to angle this even more. This is getting very, very, very angled. If this doesn't work, we might just scratch the whole idea altogether. I was just thinking about this. It's basic, and it's a good idea at the same time. Alright, let's try to make this angle, like, pretty darn big here. There we go. Alright, there you go. Now, let's make these invisible here, once again. And let's see. Alright. Now there's no way they're gonna, like, not stop on this one. No, we're just gonna angle this, like, 30. Actually, we'll keep the 15 here, and then they'll fall. Maybe this will work better because they won't gain as much speed to roll off. There we go. Alright, let's move this, like, down to here or something ridiculous like that. That looks about right. Alright, now let's test this. Press enter, ivory once again. First up, but it doesn't go at the right time. They do kind of fly off the edge. They don't have enough time. We need to give them more time. First of all, let's make the slope, like, less drastic, because it kind of speeds them up too much here. And let's make this part. Alright, that's way too low. I need to rise this up. Here, let's test this out. I mean, most of them are supposed to go that way. Oh, I saw one go that way. Nice. Okay, I know it's possible now. I just gotta make sure more than one can make it. There you go. It works. See, almost all of them go this way, but the lucky few will go that way. Okay, so we got that part to work. Ooh, we have 27 viewers. I think that's a new record for me. Thanks, guys. Okay, so we got that to finally work out. Took long enough. So, any suggestions, guys? What should I do here? This guy really wants those toenail bowls, so I guess I'll make a couple of those. Just to satisfy. There you go. Subtract. And do the same here. Combine the shapes and subtract. Let's make this black and glue this to the background, make it bouncy. Before we cut it. And then we lower the friction all the way. There we go. We got one of those things this guy wanted. Alright, let's position this correctly. Alright, we're gonna need to move this down here. Over more. Let's make it so they can they'll guaranteed roll in here. There we go. Alright, we'll add a few of these. And we'll give them roofs. Well, this one at least. I'll go like there. Here we go. Alright. And also, guys, I'm going to be going on vacation tomorrow, leaving for it, so I'll be gone for about a week. So I won't be making videos for that time period. Sorry, guys. Alright. Let's make sure they'll probably go flying out here a little bit. I can always add like a small something or other just to block them from flying out. Yeah, see, when they collided, they almost knocked off, so we'll just quickly, that doesn't mean they will, but better safe than sorry. So let's place a little thing here to block them from flying out so far or something. Here we go. One more test just to make sure, because when you make marble races, you have to test a lot. You always have to make sure the course works. Let's turn off this grid because it gets in the way. I'm watching. Okay, it looks like they're making it. Cool. Alright, that part looks good. 29 viewers. This is insane. Wow. I'm typing something. I could add like a wrecking ball like thing, but yeah, that wouldn't really work with this course. I could do it for the next leg or something. Like a wrecking ball like thing, but yeah, that wouldn't really. Alright. 30 viewers! It's a new record! I like you, Nathan. Don't say that. Be positive. Alright, so. Let's make a. One sec. This is the part I was gonna do afterwards. So, I'm gonna just go ahead and show you what I'm gonna do. So, I'm gonna have like a spinner that launches them up this way. So they have to go off of it and land up here. But if they fail, they're gonna have to go back down here again. So it's gonna be like a little jump thing that might happen or might not happen. So, just because I have a feeling they're gonna get clogged up here, let's just make a little something to mix them up a little, just so they don't get jammed with each other, you know. That happens all the time when it comes to the bowls and everything. So, you are going to go the other way. There we go. And this one's gonna go clockwise. There we go. Now they'll separate. Slow them down a little, just because they look a little fast. There we go. 11 should be good, and we'll do it for the other one as well, just in case. There we go. Alright, that part should be good. Alright, now what should happen down here? Any ideas, guys? Are you trying to steal my viewers, Retina? Come on. You streamed 3 times already. I'm just joking. Go watch Retina's stream if you want to. My favorite color is green. You want me to add water? Ooh. I could do something with currents. I've done something like that before. Alright, so if we make a box here. Here we go. Let's make this a black box like most of them are. And glue it to the background. And we'll just make a... There we go. Actually, we're just going to cut out this entire bottom here. Oops. What happened here? It won't let me subtract this. Okay, that's weird. I probably did something. One sec, let me try figuring this out. Here, we'll just go back here. Okay, it's not letting me subtract that for some reason. It's being dumb. Let's try this again. But this time when we subtract it, we're just gonna go like this. Oh. Instead, we're just gonna go like that. There you go. That's what we wanted. Glue that to the background. And then we should be good. Let's center it here. Move it up. Then, make a gap here. There we go. That's what we wanted. Alright, so now we have like a cube here. Wait, there. This is where we want it. Alright. So, we're gonna make this transparent here. So only the water will collide with this part here. Liquefy. So now it's water. Oops, I should have probably glued this first. So, the water. So this collision layer does not apply to the marbles, but only the water. So I'm gonna make something in here. It's really basic. All I have to do is make a spinner. Put it in the center of this. Let's make it a little smaller here. Alright, and we're gonna add a center axle. So now, the current, when it spins, it can knock some marbles down. So, there we go. We're gonna test this out. Let's also add a little thing so the water doesn't, right here, so the water doesn't get out through the top either. There we go. Let's just make this go like that. Alright. So now if we press play and fast forward, marbles. Yep. One just went flying out there. I have a solution to that though. Okay, it looks like these things are kind of messing up. I'm gonna have to rise them a little. I'm simply just gonna do this. Alright, all I'm just gonna do is that. Let's fix all our mistakes here. Just gonna rise this one up here. Half a thing. There we go. Alright, now let's speed it up. Press enter. And everything should work. Let's wait till one gets there. Alright. See, the current of the water will have to push them down. Let's make sure it works. There you go. That spinner can push them out, and the water current can. Some might have to go around again. Just depends. So it's not too difficult. That's all you have to do. Alright. Looks like we're in good business there. I completed your challenge. Yeah, the course is gonna move over to the left a little bit. Once it goes like down a little more. It's gonna make, I'm probably gonna add like a spinner ladder thing, and then it will make a spinner here, it will knock them up, and that'll be the end of that leg and everything. It's hard to explain, but also very basic at the same time. So, should I add something else before this, or should I just get straight to the point here? I'll let you guys choose. Who joined while I was gone? Austin Eastwood, I saw. Sorry, I'm not joining your stream because I'm currently streaming, even though... if I'm currently streaming, why would I join someone else's stream? That just doesn't make sense. Episode 2 will probably be coming out, I don't know. It'll not be able to come out, like, tomorrow, probably. I'm probably gonna have to wait like a week or two, since I have a vacation. Sorry. Let's actually make this water look a little more appealing. Let's make it like more transparent and more of like a real watery color. There, that's a good color. Wait, you can't even see that. Alright. Let's make it more noticeable at least. There we go, that's better. I like that color. Alright, now let's just make a... Oh my gosh. I want $1 million. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna add a ladder in here, suggested by someone here. Alright, where's my ladder tool? I put a lot of tools in here and stuff. Some of it's just really random things. There we go, there's my marble ladder. Mirror it and make the axles reversed. There we go. And now it should operate this way. Awesome. This thing took a little bit of time to make, actually. Marble ladders are not the easiest thing to make on your first try. I've actually made an earlier model which was really terrible because I was still kind of a noob at algodo in marble racing in general. Alright, let's rotate this way. Let's make it a little... There you go. That's a good angle here. Alright. Let's make you collision layer C, right? That won't collide with anything here. A, yeah, you should be good. Is this C? Oh, that is C. Let's make this D instead then. Just so I can move it down here. That's a good spot for it. There you go. Now just to make sure they don't go glitching out, let's add a wall here. And I'm also just going to subtract this part off of here so it doesn't look really ugly. Perfect. Now it looks smooth and fits in. Let me check some more comments here. Thanks, Ruby fan. I'm probably not going to do a 1v1 leg like Carry Cage, sorry. I want my own original ideas somewhat here. I'm answering questions right now, so if you have any that you ask, you may ask them now. 24 viewers. We're maintaining a nice amount. Sorry, didn't collect that. It would be extremely difficult, actually. I actually might be able to do something like that, but if I had more than one thing of water, then it just gets a little too crazy. It gets laggy and everything. I've been making marble races for over 4 years. I got algodo in February of 2012. Why'd you do something that's so wonderful? It depends on your point of view here, but I chose marble racing because it looked interesting, and I thought I could actually accomplish something from it, which I actually did. It's really easy, it's fun, everything. Gaming Mechanic Epicness / Hot Wheels 2 says, can you do a scoop please? I could try to do something like that. In my original marble race pack I actually had something called a hook, which was kind of like a scoop, like an ice cream scoop or something. Alright, let's work more. What should happen after the ladder? We'll make a pathway here. But we'll need something more. than just a pathway. Alright, let's rotate that a little. Needs to be more than a pathway. We need to add some obstacles on here. Actually, it's gonna be way shorter than that. Probably not even that long either. A little further. There you go. Boop. So this is our course so far. Looks pretty good. Just give it a nice test run here. I might need to add like a gear or something just to separate the marbles here, but let's see. 3 already took the good way, which will be the good way. Not quite yet though. Alright. Looks like hot pink entered here and made it really fast. Mauve is the second one down here, then green. Actually, lavender cuts in front of green. A little bit of water seeped out. I might need to work on this a little, just to make sure the water doesn't get out at all. Looks like they're finding their way up, though. Quite nicely. They're getting bopped back by this one here a little. I might fix that in a second here. Let's just do that now, because everything seems to be working correctly. Alright. We can either rise this, or we can lower it. I think I'm about rising it. There you go. Perfect. Now every time they can be picked up. So here we're probably gonna add, actually let's make this a little longer. Let's stretch this out and rotate it. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna add like a spinner ladder here. So how I make these, all I have to do is cut out like a circle here. I'm gonna make it there. Subtract that. You could leave it like this if you want, but I usually just cut this part off too. And we'll do it like here. Let's make the shape of the spinner to make sure it will fit in here. Okay, so it's 6 long. 1 sec. Alright. 6, 8, 10, 12. Alright. So if we move our spinner over here and then clone this here, should get a nice even spinner. Perfect. Let's merge these together. And we're going to give it an axle here. Alright, so we want it to go this way. Probably make it go about like 26 or so. That's about right. And then we'll make these black here. Did I already glue you to the background? Nope, I did not yet. So I'm going to put that there. Actually, I'm going to move this down a little just so it's even looking here. There we go. And all I have to do here is make a wall that climbs up. And then that can go up here. So, I'm going to make this collision layer B, and then I'll make another spinner on top of it with C. So I'm going to clone this. Here I'm going to put this one about here. Make that one C. Then I can just continue this pattern all the way to the top. Make sure I'm lining these up correctly. Put them about there. And then we'll put the final one. All we have to do is easily rotate this. you'll be good to go. If you can line it up correctly, which will not happen here. So, I could just stick with the spinner here, which I'll probably just do here, because it doesn't really need to go much higher anyway. Let's rotate this to a 90-degree angle. Shorten this to here, and then we'll put this here so it lines up. And perfect. Now I'm going to make a platform here. I look at some questions quickly and stuff. I know you want people to watch your live stream, right, Nazer, but please don't advertise in the chat. Hey Ram Turtle, what's up? I got an overused shooter, so I'm probably not going to do that. Okay. Alright, I just want to line this up correctly. Right, I'm going to need to angle this way, actually. I can be kind of clever about this. I can actually use this spinner here. Oh wait, never mind. It's going the opposite direction. So I'll just clone this spinner here and make it the opposite direction. So this one will push them. First want to make a little thing so they can actually go over that one. Rotate this a little. Not much at all. Alright, it's collision layer A, so that'll work. And we'll make this D, so it won't collide with those spinners either. And then we're in a good place. Actually move this over a little more. There we go. That will operate correctly and how we want it to. And to finish this part off, we're just gonna add a little roof here. So they're gonna have to time this correctly, or they'll have to fall back down and stuff. Might even make this faster. The only problem is they will collide with each other. Oh, I should have thought about that. Let me see how it plays out first. So let's test this out. Here we go. Magenta's the first one. Go there. Ooh, purple got lucky. But unlucky there. Mauve and Smile also got lucky. But now they're going to collide with each other a little. Ooh, this actually might work. I'm going to add something here, because most of them fall there. And nowhere else. They just have to find the right timing. Like Lavender might here. Ooh. Alright. I'm gonna have to work with this a little. It seems possible though. That's a good thing. Alright, now they're really like stacking up here, so one sec. Let's see if they can make their way out of this mess and pile up. Oh, I forgot to change the collision layers on these invisible things. I should probably do that. That's a good idea. Alright, they're really jamming up here, so I'm probably gonna need to find a way to make sure they don't do that. One sec, let me look at questions again for a second here. Oh, don't worry about the dislikes. People will dislike this. It happens to every YouTuber in the world. Hello, Toonatron. Okay. Let's get back to work on this. I have a feeling I should lower this a little more, so they have a more straight shot at aiming. That might be a little too much, actually. That might be too low. Yeah, it's a slight bit too low. Let me fix that. And go there. Okay, let's test this out now. Actually, first I'm going to add a little thing to separate them. Maybe an alternator might work here. No, they're still gonna be too... Ugh. Actually, I have an idea. It might possibly work. Actually, before I do anything, let's make those have no collision layers. And here, the friction just helps them separate from each other. Alright, and we'll add a little wall here. Just reuse this one. Here we go. Just shrink this down a little. Oops. Alright. Let's test this out once again. 27 viewers. That's nice. Thanks, Charles. Alright, please stop spamming hi in the chat. It's nice you like to see me, though. I can do another game, but I don't really have that many. That's the problem. Alright, let's see. Will they separate a little more now? Here we go. I'll have them shoot into there, actually. Here comes brown. Some of them have a chance to go through, while some have the chance to go down, I think. Maybe. Actually, might need to work on that. Oh, Smile went down. So did they. They're just gonna need more speed is the problem. I wanted to see if people can actually make it here. Or marbles, not people. And I guess you could classify them as people in a way, but that doesn't really work. Honestly. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's take away the friction from this so they'll just go flying off. There you go. "28 viewers. "27 viewers. Alright. Let's see how this plays out. Periwinkle is the last one up here, and they all kind of just failed there. Oh no, blue glitched through the course. Oh no. Oh well. We'll fix something. We'll make something work there. In case that happens again. Alright, seems most of the time they will not be able to go the right way. Because the timing is very slim here. Looks like red has nope, red doesn't have a chance. Dang. I actually thought red had a chance. But now they're actually flying off better, so that's a good thing. Oh, dark gray. Oh no. Alright. I think I have a solution here though. Try rising this up a little more again. That way they just have more of a chance to make it, and they'll just go higher up in general. Alright. I would subtract this, but the spinner's in the way. Let's just move this for a second. Actually, I think it was good where it was, honestly. Most of them still make it, but a lot of them miss at the same time. Alright, crystal's the first one to make it out. $28 viewers. We've been maintaining a really steady like 27 to 28 viewers, which is a complete new record for me. But I can see why, because I've reached 3,000 subscribers in the past few days, which is a lot. And I mean a lot. Ooh. Lilac, do you have the... Nope, Lilac couldn't time it right. Once they all enter the course, though, things are much more spread out. Some are still stuck there, and they're still going down this platform. I just want to make sure it's possible. Then I can work from there if I know it's possible. We definitely made progress here. Alright, once all these guys are out of this starting area, magenta, transparent blue, then I think we can get somewhere in the progress department. Yeah, actually I should probably shrink this down. Probably is a good idea. Because they're getting jammed up and stuff now. I could also add like a gear down here. I still don't know if it's possible. It's okay, maybe I could lower the friction on this. Because a lot of friction will probably slow them down from actually going off. Okay, there. Let's put it back to default friction. Let's see to make sure they can still go down this way too, at the same time. Crystal almost did it. That's kind of an odd start though. There goes Smile. There you go, it's possible. It is possible. Okay. Now, to see if it's actually possible to get up there, we're gonna need to go launching off. Ooh, Smile was so close. Fern Green didn't get a very good jump there. There goes Blue, didn't get good timing. Gold took the shortcut. It would speed this up, but then they wouldn't be able to go down this way anymore. Which actually might be fine, because maybe they all should go down that way. I do like to have like the little slim chance of actually going this way though. May even make it even slimmer, which actually would be nice. Oh, so close. Come on. Here we go. Come on. Someone has to make it, if it's possible. Wow. Oh, jeez. Come on, someone needs to get a good hit while it's down. Oh no. Ooh. One sec. Let me see where it lines up when it goes upwards. Okay. I might just move this thing closer and move it down a little. That might even make things simpler. Actually, let's move it down even more. Let's make it much easier for them, so they have a bigger chance of actually making it. Because it already seems too difficult. We had 30 viewers again. We've been streaming for 55 minutes. Sorry if you buffer a lot. It looks fine on my end, but sometimes it might just be kind of slow. If it keeps buffering, just try to lower the quality because 60 frames per second is a lot to handle. Okay. Let's work with this. We're gonna add in, I'm gonna clone the skier here. Right here, I meant. We're gonna move this. We're gonna move this just to separate the timing and stuff a little better. That's A. So let's make this. Oh yeah, it's already B. That's handy. There we go. We'll add 2 of those just to help separate that part a little bit. And we could speed this up actually, so it might not last as long, but that means more will be able to go through at the time. I just don't know if they'll go down this way anymore, because they might not have time to. Oh, they can actually go off already, instantly. If they time it correctly. Ooh, some can actually do it if they collide. That makes it even more anonymous, because some can actually make it on their first try. I could even add like a teleporter or so. Okay, this works out really well actually. I could add a teleporter somewhere. Ooh, Navy was close. Alright, this is working out a little better than before, at least. Comes salmon. Ooh, salmon boosted 10. I mean, not salmon, rose. Don't make me mix that up again. Alright, this glitch needs to be fixed. Okay, I think it's possible. I'm almost certain it's possible now. So now, if they go this way, I'm going to make like a platform here, in case they fall. Where that isn't there. Let's make a thick platform so it slows them down, since they're going so fast. Go. We're gonna slant that down. Put that there. Should scoot it over a little more. Put it against that. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll add just something to straighten them out. And we can add like an alternator here. You could either go back up here and restart, or you'll just fall. So yeah, let's get out my alternator. Actually, first let's grab an organizer, just so they don't go flying all over the place. Let's actually rise this up a little more. Here it is. There's the good old alternator. Okay. Try to line this up more. Sorry. It's like OCD-ish going on here. I am a little OCD about things. But aren't we all in some way? I have a teleporter here somewhere. I like Luca's teleporter. Credit to Luca for the teleporter. Most of my things. I made my own teleporter, but it doesn't really work as well. So I like to use Lucas. I'm not too good at scripting. I'm enough to like do like the rainbow marble and gravity and velocity and all that stuff, but I wasn't very good with the teleporter. I had my own way of doing it, but it didn't work as well as this one. Alright, wait, that's the last page. Where was it? Where is the teleporter? Oh, certain it was on this page. Did I misplace it somewhere? Oh, there it is. I just wasn't looking well enough. Alright, so. Let's make this a green. And we'll send it back up here. That's invisible. No collision layers. We'll spawn up there. There you go, that will work. Now I have to prevent them from going from here, so I'm just going to add a little barrier around it. That's all I have to do. That's exactly, it's not the lift that was actually glitching marbles out. I think it was that when they fell, they would slide out. But if it was the ladder, then I can always fix that just by like angling this more so they roll away faster. Just by going like this. And if we just give it less restitution, then they'll just slide down. So now this works, and then they'll just go down this way if they have to. Alright, we added something else to the race. Looks pretty good. Let's add something like this also here. Separate them. Let's raise these up a little just because. There we go. Now let's test this out. Here we go. Let's hope it works. Alright, looks like Midnight is taking the teleporter. Let's test it out. Alright, that worked. Now let's see if the timing when they separated works too. Yep. Perfect timing for separation. Alright, looks like that worked. Let's make sure the ladder works okay with Periwinkle testing it out. Oh, wait. Okay, let me fix that part. Alright, there's not enough room here, so all I'm going to do is I can lift this up a little. There we go. That'll work now. How many viewers do we have? 27. Oh, it's Black Belt here. Hello, Black Belt. Let me give out some mod. Ram Turtle, you pointed them out, so I think you deserve it. Whoop, one sec. Retinazer, you can be a moderator, and I'll also make you Black Belt 1. you three can be moderators, and you are going to fix up the chat. Alright, this part works now. Looks like the ladder's working. Oh yes, I was going to fix the water thing. I forgot about that. Let me do that quickly. That's gonna give it some more layers here. Just gonna move this down too. Fill in the gaps here. Perfect. That should work out. Actually, let's add one on this side too. Even it out. Otherwise it'll look weird. And it also means we can stretch this out here. Move this down. That will work perfectly. I guess. Okay. Alright, now that those gaps are filled in, this leg looks pretty completed. Now I just gotta make sure it works. And find ways that maybe they could go up more. Because it happens pretty rarely, honestly. Something's wrong here. Oh no. That's not right. One second. I am going to... Oh no. It's attached to something. One sec. First of all, I'm gonna loosen this. Just make sure the axle's connecting and it's still there. Oh, it's not. Alright. I'll add a center axle. There. Add this at 10. I knew something was wrong there. Oops. Let's connect that there. Let me make sure it's even again. I'm not doing that, whatever it was doing. There we go. Okay, I think I just disconnected there. Okay, you invisible. And this tiny one invisible. Okay, now let's test it, now that it works. That was weird. Please be respectful in the chat. We have moderators, and they will be in you. One sec. I'm gonna read some comments quickly. "33 viewers. Wow. Oh. I notice you. You don't have to swear for me to notice you. Rubbers. Hello, Rubbers. Shout out to Rubbers, because he wants me to notice him. Swearing's not gonna give you the attention you want. I noticed you. I saw you. Shout out to Super Aqua C12. Thanks for being here. I give the shoutouts to people when I say I'm going to give shoutouts, okay? Sorry if I don't notice you, but I'm working on this at the same time. It's kind of hard to check the chat, because I do this in like a almost full screen. Alright. Time to test this out again. Are you guys ready? I want the countdown in chat. Once I see a go, then I'm going to start. Say 3, 2, 1, go. First person I see, I'll do it. Hello, Two Rolling Dice. Nice to see you. I'm surprised you're here. Alright, I saw it go. Just do it. Alright. Hot Magenta off to a quick start. Let's hope this at least works out somewhat. This is going to be a long leg. I can see that. So that will mean it's a long video later on. Right. Blue's teleporting there. Ooh, that was close. Alright. We'll be the first one to surpass the dreaded launch part. No one so far. It's all about timing. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Here we go. Come on. Some of you are so close. Tan, you were so close. Alright, you're all cleared from that part. You're all down here at the ladder and everything. And in that funnel. Here we go. Someone will make it. Sky, no. Sky could have had that. It's brown. Surprisingly, it's brown. No one wanted brown to win. Wow. Okay. Once one marble makes it, it's easier for others to make it usually, but we know it's possible. That's the important thing, is that it's possible. I just need to get a good launch off of that platform. Ooh. Marbles always get in the way, though. Happens to all of them. Each one has its own individual turn, which is good. That's what we want. It's okay if 2 or 3 get in there, but once more than that, it kind of collides. There goes Cyan! One of the fan favorites. I'm not trying to cause controversy here. Because there's a lot of fan favorites. Lime, blue, red. That depends on what color you like. Alright. This will take a long time. So, I'm going to go ahead and work on the elimination/ending. Okay, so here, I'm going to create something to block them after they go upwards so they don't keep flying. And then I'm going to block them here. This will work. Alright. Let's glue this to the background. And we'll add this. Oop. Let's not do that. And we'll put this here. So I'll have the time to separate and everything. And then we'll work on the elimination. So, I'm going to save this actually first. So I'm going to save this as AMR Season 2 Part 2. Save. And I should have done this earlier, but I'm going to go back to this one. I have a lot of scenes, I know. Alright, I'm just going to copy this and put in my components. I actually made a drawing for that, which I will do afterwards. Right. We'll just grab this whole thing because it's kinda too late to not grab it. Here we go. Now let's grab this. I will delete you, and you. Perfect. Alright. Now, since this was from the final 49, which was a long time ago, I'm actually going to move this a little so it lines up. There you go. Delete this because it's not the final 49 anymore. So we have to add 2 spots here. So what I do is I merge this with that and then go here. Actually, let's make it a little longer. There we go. And then we subtract this from there, and now we have ourselves the final 46, I guess. Actually, yeah. Or that no, the final 47. 46, because this one just got eliminated. That's right. I should lower this one more, actually. I can't math right now. Oops, I did the wrong thing. I meant to subtract, not add. Alright. Whoops. Let's move this down. There we go. So, now the leg is complete. For now. I'm actually going to cover this up once more, just to be sure. And we'll cover up one more, just so it looks right, because that gap looks kind of off with the rest of the race. There we go. That looks good. So this is the leg we created, guys. It might need a little improvement, but it looks really good. I like what we made. Actually going to add one more thing here before we do anything. Just to separate them up here as well. Let's add a little gear. Move it up a little just so it doesn't get in the way there. You can still see it. There we go. Alright. Looks good, guys. I'm reading comments now and answering questions, so if any of you want to shout out, ask a question, now is the time to do that. That's a pretty high score. I actually would not accept that because I'd say this is more of a 9 out of 10 in my opinion. That's really good still. I like this leg. But I also need a clever name for this. Guys, in the comments, please come up with a clever name. Of course I brush my teeth. Hygiene is important. Well, in my own race, obviously I'm going to pick green because green's my favorite color. But, I don't really care. It just depends. It is my race, and I just have to go with whatever happens when I record it. The episode will probably be released in, like, a little over a week, because I will be going on vacation. I have a lot of friends outside of El Gudu that I talk to in real life. Seesaw. Yeah, that's pretty good. I kind of like the seesaw. We'll do something with the seesaw. Come up with something clever with the seesaw. If you can make it an alliteration, that would be most ideal. Let's see. Ooh, this is gonna be difficult to choose. I'm looking at my own synonyms and stuff for words. So I can find one that begins with S. We must find the perfect word. Ooh, I think I came up with one. It's not that good. It was something I came up with though. Let me find better words even than that. If it's buffering, just lower the quality. Sorry if it's laggy, it's just kinda, you know, a stream. Just refresh the page. It might work. Usually works for me. I'm trying to fix on my own stream too. Alright. I think it's working again. Sorry. Sorry about that little lag spike. It's just being weird. Oh, hello Jack Sparrow. Welcome. I could easily just call it the seesaw as well. That's just super basic. Here, Jack, let me give you moderator because I know you. Alright. Oh no. Back to the rebels. Oh no. 34 viewers. Okay. So we finished leg 1. Do you want to work on leg 2 or do you want to stick with this, and I can work on like 2 on my own. I'll let you guys decide. Should I end the stream here, or should I continue? Should I keep working, or do you guys want to stop here? That's my question. Continue, 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 continue. Don't continue. Okay, we're continuing. That's like a 10-to-1 ratio or something there, from what I saw. Okay, so we have that done. So from here we can continue on to the next part of the race. So, any ideas for leg 2, guys? Because I need help. Sometimes it gets kind of hard to think of ideas, and I kind of want you guys to help here. You all can contribute to this. It'll help. I will work once I have an idea, or because you guys have to give me ideas. I need ideas, guys. I can't work without ideas. Hello, Tantosaur. Wow. We have a lot of good people in this chat today. Wow. Lots of ideas here. Man. It's a lot of insanity to make these things. It's just a lot of mechanics and machinery, in a way. Few ideas. Hello, Cody. Welcome to the stream. Usually the second leg I make is smaller than the first, so we should have a small leg for the second one. Something very basic. Nothing insane or out of this world, just let's stick to something basic. Keep those creative brains for next time we're doing one of these. I'm not doing a bull. Now you're talking about algorithmicathlon. You know what? I'll just try to come up with something here, the best I can. Start off with something very, very simple. Alright. These are going to be extremely bouncy, unless I can get an idea really fast. We're going to make them meet up in the center. Well, the best I could. We're gonna meet up in this area, at least. Okay. Now we'll each move in one there. Alright, that's not too bad. Actually, let's move this up. There we go. Right, so they'll kind of bounce back and forth in these two sections here. Let's increase the restitution to maybe 2,000. Yeah, that should work. So just imagine all these guys fast and Mauve was eliminated or something. And they're moving on. So I'm just going to put these guys in here. And we'll clone Mauve here. And they will set off the elimination. Just see how this would play out. Oop. I should probably glue those to the background before I do anything. Here we go, and there. Alright. That did not work as I wanted it to. Alright, these need to be way bouncier. It's like go to like 5,000 even. Let's delete those marbles that got in the way. But I think you guys might be able to see what I'm doing here. Pretty straightforward idea. It's kind of what I'm looking for. An idea I can work with easily. I cannot line that up correctly. It's the marbles throwing it off. There we go. Now let's try lining it up. Here, let's find a good place. Good enough. Alright, now let's see what would happen. Okay, that is just chaos. That is not gonna work out. Alright. Let's make the restitution 2,300 or so. That should probably work. Right, they're bouncing their way up instead of down. I kind of like that though. That's kind of what I wanted. Yeah, something like this would look good. They're going down though, so I'm gonna put I'm just gonna connect these two actually together, and then they can start bouncing their way up. And then we'll add like a bowl over here. I'll use one of these. And I'll put them into the end. Something like this will work. Alright, let's check this out. And we're probably gonna need to add like a really thick cover here because these marbles are just gonna go flying out. Alright, and we're probably gonna put like an obstacle or something in here to block their paths, so I have an idea of what I can use. I have it in here somewhere. Now to search through this again. There we go. This spinner will try blocking their paths from getting up all the way. Let's put this in the center there. There, that's perfect. Oops. That's in the way. One sec. That is collision layer A, which it shouldn't be. Now it should be good. Let's test it out now. There we go. Alright, they're getting too jammed up, so we're gonna need to make it so they'll have to separate before they actually go up. Just move all this stuff downwards. And we'll add a organizer here, and with this organizer they will separate and they'll have a chance to actually make it through. Or I could make it so they could come out the bottom, but it's a little too late. Oh, I keep doing that. I need to stop doing that. Actually, first of all, let's move this like closer that way. Now I can drop it. Where it should go. There. That will work. Let's test this out now. Okay, I can make the bottom here flat. And like tilt it to one direction. Like that. I can do this like up here. Just expand it downward just so it doesn't get in the way. There we go. Now they always can restart. Okay, that won't work. They're just gonna keep getting stuck. Let's see here. Actually, I could add a spinner. I could separate them. Actually, I'll originate back to what I was doing earlier. Some can go through the bottom, but the lucky ones will be able to go to the top. And it'll give them an advantage. Alright, let's see how we can do this. If I make it too bouncy, they'll glitch out. Okay, let's just make this a... Whoop. We'll make it a 2-wide gap here. And maybe this thing might get in the way. Yeah, this thing's gonna get in the way. It's gonna be too much. We could make it smaller. That's what we'll do. We'll make it a small little thing. There we go. Now let's test it out. Most of them will slide out. Yeah, almost all of them slid out. Instantly. Okay, all of them did. Ugh. Oh, some of them are actually climbing up now. Okay, this might actually work. For a few of them. Or just one. White's making some good progress here. Okay. This thing is gonna get in the way too much, so we're gonna need to slow it down. Actually, maybe speed it up a little, so it passes by quicker. Alright, let's test it out again. Alright, some marbles are managing to climb up a little bit. Dodging. Ooh, collisions. Throwing some off. You know, I'm gonna speed this up a little more actually. Let's go to 10. I want to check and see if any are capable of getting to the top completely. There goes red. Red got a good start. Ooh, but got knocked down. Red's... Ooh. Transparent red's going. Alright. Now I'll just see if they can actually get up. I might get rid of the spinner though. That's kinda blocking the path too much. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sorry, spinner. But you're going out of here. Okay, now that that's gone, we can do something else here. So the top people, I think, should just go straight to victory. Just see how many actually make the top. Here goes white. White didn't even come close. All the shades of gray and black made it, probably because they were all together. Ooh. Rainbow's getting lucky. Ooh. Pass that luck on. Alright, that timing wasn't very good. Somebody. Actually, I might add something bouncy here so they can bounce in if they bounce off there. Just so it's not too crazy. Because the last few have to make it. Almost guaranteed. Because no one's made it yet. And these guys are stuck. Don't climb all the way back up, please. Lavender made it. It bounced right out. Oh no. So only the last few will make it, so I'm gonna have to do something else. If they even can make it. I need to remove the friction from this. I mean the bounciness. I already removed all the friction from the bull. Alright. You will not be bouncy. Okay. So I can slow this down. We can make this much slower. Let's make that 8. Try that. How'd that work out? Right. Seems we were able to climb more, so that will work better. Slowing that down helped. Some now have more time to start climbing up before they get hit or hit someone else. But what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna take off like all the bounciness from this. And then they can separate on the first one, then this one will be the one they actually have to go through. Alright, let's try this out now. Sorry about all the buffering. Just refresh. When someone gets started, they can make it all the way to the top. They're lucky enough. Will any of these guys be lucky? Ooh, black. Black got to bounce off of teal. Now black's climbing his way up. Ooh, but black passed it on. Copper. Ooh, copper is close. Alright, I'm adding something there just so they have a better chance. Okay, yeah. I'm putting something right here. I'm probably just gonna put a small one of these. Like here. Let's put that there. And we'll subtract a little off of this. There we go. One more test to make sure some go up, some go down. I am almost certain it will work now. Wow, red got a good start already. First one in. Oh, never mind. Red got knocked down. Red's struggling to get back up, but red just could not, with all the marbles pushing red down. We'll get that good bounce off of another marble to get started. Ooh, black, once again. And black, once again, pass it on the copper. It's gonna repeat itself a little, just because, you know. There we go. Copper made it. And it looks like purple will too. Here goes purple. Also made it. Lavender's coming up. So is gold. Yellow as well. So the last few are going to make it to the top mostly. And then the last few. And the first few will always take the bottom mostly. Okay, so. It's a good way for like last place to catch up with first place. See, as Ivory's in last right now. Ivory will be able to catch up. Because these guys are going to be slowed down here. I like the idea. Try to make them combine at about the same time. There goes Ivory, and they all made it. Perfect. Now we have to work from here. We've been streaming for more than 2 hours. Nice. Okay, so what should we do now? I think I'm going to start just by making like a simple platform here after they go. Actually, let's make some bowls. We'll insert some bowls here. Where are the bowls? There's one. There's the one I was looking for. So we're gonna stick this in here. And we'll make like a little... There's a few of these. Like 4 of them. Going back and forth. It's thunderstorming outside my house right now. I can hear it outside the window. Alright. These guys can just go like straight down to where they need to go. Oh boy, can I hear that rain. If the stream suddenly just cuts off, just please note it's probably a power outage. Alright. Let's see here. Where will this lead? What should happen? I need some ideas from you guys. I need some ideas from you guys. Anyone have any ideas at all? Okay. A lot of weird suggestions. I think I'm just gonna stick with something basic here though. Alright. Oh, I know what we're gonna do. It's very simple. Let's make a giant bowl here. Perfect. Alright, so there's a good gap here, which we'll just close off like that. And now we have a giant bowl that we can do stuff with. So I'm probably going to do something here. Make them climb up something. We could do a giant spinner climb thing. That would work. Let's clone this thing here. Mirror this. I always like the second leg to be shorter, as I already said, just because the first leg usually is my long leg, and I want to keep the videos like a good length, but not so long that it bores viewers. I'm moving this a little. I'm gonna move this over actually, this way. Oops, that didn't go with it. There we go. Man, it is really pouring out there. In this case, I'm going to reverse these since I already mirrored it. In this case, I just have like one of these guys, spinners, going really fast, so it knocks them in. So we'll move this up to here. And we have our fast. Okay, that might be too fast. I don't want to go flying out. Let's go around 37. There you go. That will look good. Then we'll rotate this way. And we'll put this here. There we go. So now they just have to get through that gap, and they'll be on their way. So let's add this platform here so they can actually go into the spinner ladder. Here we go. Make it about 6 degrees. And we'll put it here. Glue this to the background. Then we'll add this. There we are. Okay, now let's just add like one of these guys back here. And I think we're done with this part. And then we'll just add the illumination and we're done. Yeah. I will test this in a second, 1 sec. I'm just going to grab this. Actually, I'll just use the one I already have. You know, because that's just much easier. First, let's see this in motion just to make sure everything runs okay. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, we should actually probably block this off a little. There we go. Nice. Now they won't escape. Alright. They're not the final 49 anymore. I'll add that afterwards, as I said. So, from this one, we subtracted 3, and then we'll add one more. There we go. Add this on, and subtract this off. Alright, looks good. And this one, we don't need this part on this one. Actually, we need to subtract 3 more for the elimination. That's right. There we go. And subtract. And now we have to add the elimination area part. This time, let's make it work. Because last time, I accidentally made a mistake. Alright, let's move this down. First of all, then we'll move this over to here. We'll make something here, and then we'll make the little elimination slots. First of all, let's make this red and glue to the background. And then we make this little thing and subtract the shape of the marble from this. Whoop. I don't think that was to the right point. There we go. Alrighty. Now, let's rotate this. subtract this part off. Rise this part up. And we've got a complete marble race part made. So I'm just gonna quickly test this part out once more, and I think we're gonna end the stream there. I'll be in Discord for a bit afterwards, don't worry. Here we go. Alright, these guys are going down. And even if there are a few bugs, I'm just gonna fix them after the stream. Or sometime later on. Ooh. Transparent blue got a good run there. There goes transparent blue. Green also made it up there. Alright, transparent blue is safe. Because it's going to take forever, let's just speed it up. As much as we can, at least. Remember, if it's buffering, just refresh the page. I will hop in Discord in a bit, so don't worry. Alright, let's just watch in like 2 times speed. Ooh, magenta. Magenta was the last one to make it up. Ooh, it's pretty much the last one to make it through the spinner. Loses. Ooh, we're getting low on people. Ooh, here we go. So many colors. Sometimes it's kind of hard to remember which is which. Alright. Last spot was taken by Violet. These are all of them. Down to... Alright. So, tan, fern green, and black would be up for elimination, and coral would have been eliminated. Cool. Oh, never mind. Let me redo this part. Just drop you back in there. There we go. Then we wait for coral, but instead, just to speed things up, I'm just going to drag coral. And then, coral would set it off. Coral would set it off. And these would be safe. And these would be up for elimination. And there you go. Pretty much the marble race. Looks pretty good. I'll work out that little elimination bug in a bit, but yeah, I like the work I did. Alright, just making sure I didn't have any marbles hidden behind there. Alright. I think that's going to be it for the stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'll answer a few more questions for a second here. Wow, 39 viewers. Alright. Any last questions from any of you guys? Before I end off the stream? Let's see. Ooh, we went to 40 people. Oh, on my vacation, I am going to Florida. I'm going to a beach, Daytona Beach, for 2 days. Then I'm going to Orlando, for 5 days. Yes, I'm very happy I actually reached this many subs. I'm surprised. That might be a good name. You can always say the rules. That's fine. Oh yes. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's not permanent. I will do that. Okay. I will do more live streams in the future, don't worry. Alright, I think that's gonna do it, guys. I will see you guys in the next live stream / video, blah blah blah. I'll be on Discord, and I will talk to you guys later. Goodbye.